Good crafternoon, everybody. There we go. We're back in the cat room. And this needs to get moved up a little bit. There we go. All right, sounds working. All right, hi everyone. I'm Heavenly Hedgehog. Good crafternoon is the stream where we just hang out and work on stuff. Today, I've got a whole bunch of stuff here that looks like it's just random crap, but I'm going to be patterning a Pakko sweater. I've been thinking about it for a week, ever since I saw Pakko. If you don't know about Pakko, he is the new hero on Gigantic. You can check it out at gogigantic.com. He's only available until Thursday, I believe. He's still in development, but he's like a baby snow yeti or something, and he's so adorable. He's so smushy. So as soon... Hi there, kitty. How are you doing? Welcome back. I'm glad to see you again. How's all your stuff going? I know you had a lot of drawings to work on last time. Oh, what was I saying? Yep, of course that's... No. There we go. All right. No, mute. Sorry, I'm on my jury rig setup again. I've got my phone filming and watching watching chat from my Surface. So yeah, Pakko, he is adorable. Let me look him up for you. I had done absolutely zero prep. I got muslin. That was my prep. Pakko. Go. Just. There he is. There we go. Load faster. This is so slow. We've got the Surface 1, so it's not amazing. It's loading. Also, the wireless in this room is terrible. Oh, come on, here. There we go. Can you see him at all? He's so cute. Do you see how smushy he is? Oh my goodness. He is so smushy. So my initial thought was to make a Pakko kigurumi, but then I realized I'm not going to wear a kigurumi. I'm just not. So, granted, I've never tried a kigurumi. Maybe I would. I don't know. But yeah. So, Pakko. Also, in case you're wondering what that is, that's Hiccup. Running around underneath the bed frame here. Because he is a nutter. Now, Pakko is absolutely adorable. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, thank you. He's mostly kind of like blue and purple, kind of icy blue and icy purple. He's got a big pink nose and purple horns, and his pink cheeks, they're so cute. So, let's see here. Looking for a nice, slouchy sweater. I haven't decided yet if it's going to have a zipper in the front. I really don't know. But he's got big nose. There's big round cheekies. And his eyes are nearly in line with those. He's kind of got a koala face. Just a little bit. Oh, your internet is adapting? Oh. Oh no, you had a big dilemma. I hope everything got worked out all right. Was it artistic? Is it an artistic dilemma? If it is, then I'll ask what it was. If not, You can keep your privacy. It's all right. Thank you, puppies. So, just doing a little sketch real quick, and then he's got his big horns. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna start making this sweater. I'm like, yeah, let's start the sketch first. Nah, screw it. Let's figure out the shape, and then we'll draw on the pattern. All right. Put that over there where I can see it for the most part. I can zoom in here. Hi, Jacob. How are you doing? How is the art coming along? So I've got far more muslin than I need. I got enough so I can start patterning my Daughter of the Ironwood cosplay as well. You need to close my door? Okay. He's got it. So I'm going to try not to be too noisy. Oh no, you lost your reference picture? That sucks. I'm sorry about that. I hope you managed to find it again. Oh, whoops. My phone is going to die if I don't plug it in. All right. Everything okay? I think everything's okay. You tired? You're not getting enough sleep, Jacob? You working too hard? All right. So what I've got here, I have one of my husband's sweatshirts. So, oversized sweater. I also have this shruggy shawl thing that I crocheted a few years ago because it's really comfortable and I like that general shape. So we're going to try to merge the two. That's all right, kitty. I'm just happy that you stopped in. Pick up. Don't be hurt. Seriously. He likes to make noise when I really don't need it. Not bad. Yeah, you're a cat. Yeah, I'm just glad you stopped in, kitty. I hope that you find your reference pic or find a good one that can replace it. You've been working very hard. Well, remember to take a break sometimes. It's important. All right. So I'm not sure how much you guys can actually see. So I know, remember, right? It's best if I sit over this way and then work here. Way. Cords everywhere, I know. This is why I work on the floor and not on a table. I spread out a lot. Oh, you're in a play? Well, that's awesome. At least it's something cool. You know, Jacob? At least... Oh, excuse me, I'm burping. You're being kept from your back armor by something neat. And not just, yeah, I have to go to work. What's the play? By the way, if anyone's working on something, please tell me. I'd love to know. I know we had some pretty great projects in the chat last time, including somebody working on real metal swords. I mean, tell me that's not cool. Cabaret? Wow. That sounds like an awesome play. So are you actually in it, or are you a crew? What are you? By the way, this sweatery thing, this started out, it was supposed to be a shawl, and then I couldn't figure out how to wear it. So I just stitched the edges together. I gauged out to their sleeves. It's just a big triangle. And I sewed part of the triangle together so that I could wear it. because I couldn't figure out how to put it on. It's just, it didn't work. I was too clumsy to figure out a shawl. All right. Let's see here. That is so awesome. There we go. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pattern by adapting something I've already got. I'm going to turn this into a pattern. Oh, very cool. Well, I hope that everything goes well with the rehearsals and that you break a leg when it's showtime. So you're the pickup guy. You're the pickup guy. That's pretty cool. I've always been too shy to be in a play. One of the things I regret. It's always too shy, Jacob. So I admire you for what you're doing. Okay. So in general, this is going to work. In general. Now one of the ways that I'll make this extra oversized is that I'm just going to fill in this space here. So that way it's going to be huge and smushy, and we're going to get kind of Pakko feel from that, fingers crossed. Yeah, it's too bad! Oh, I would totally watch Jacob. I haven't been to a play in a long time. I think the last one I went to was A Christmas Carol. But before that, like the last big things I did was my birthday weekend one year. We saw opening night of Spamalot, and 2 days later, we saw Wicked. It was the best birthday. I love plays. I love musicals especially, mostly because I like anything I can sing to. The problem is, I can never remember the words. Oh, boy. Let us see. So first, I think I'm just going to draw this shape out on the muslin. We're going to start with that. And we're going to keep this simple since it's just for comfy. I'm not going to get too complicated with it. So to start off, I'm just folding it in half because ideally I'm just going to do this on the fold. With any luck, my muslin should be long enough. I hope. Okay, get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. Bring in the muslin. But yeah, I mean that 100% Jacob. I would totally go see it. Oh, that's right, I got the short muslin. This is going to be mildly more difficult. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. So muslin is super cheap. You'll find it in the cotton section of your fabric store. It's most likely to be in the cotton section. Typically $2 to $3 or $4 a yard, just depending on the width. This one I got is just 36 inches. It was the cheapest one because I'm cheap. Definitely recommend working in something like this when you're patterning, when you're trying something new, so that you're not wasting money and expensive materials. Because this, I don't care if I ruin it. It's muslin. It was $2 a yard. Alright. This down here. problem is I got 7 yards of this, and trying to wrangle 7 yards of anything is a lot. Alright. Okay. So, this board is in my way. In my way. So when's opening night, Jacob? By the way, we saw Zootopia last night. I so recommend it. It was really good. I was not convinced that we were going to see it until we saw how good the reviews were. When we looked at Rotten Tomatoes, we were like, 99%? Really? For Zootopia? I guess we have to see it. And I'm glad we did. It was extremely well animated, which is one of the first things I look at. The story really held up. My only thing is, what do the predators eat? Because you see the bunnies growing vegetables and all the herbivores, like, they're growing veggies and stuff, but what do the carnivores eat? That's my only thing with it. Hi there, Two Bears! How are you doing? By the way, I took a look at your power armor. It looks fantastic. Thank you. Assuming you can. Sorry. He gets grumpy about conference calls. But yeah, I saw your power armor, Two Bears. It looked fantastic. That is a lot of work for only like, what, a little over 10 days? I know I can't work that fast. Or at least I haven't had the need to. Oh no, cats, you're locked in with me. Where am I locked in? Oh good, I'm glad you're doing well. So have you gotten started on your Bioshock 2? It was your diving suit, right? You got started on that yet? I'm doing quite well. My allergies are going to be killing me very shortly, but doing all right. I am starting to try to pattern some Pakko armor. Or Pakko armor, Pakko sweater. Pakko sweater. There's no armor here. I was too excited about Pakko and just couldn't wait until the Pakko month on Gigantic, whenever that may be. I was just like, no, it's cold out. I need a Pakko sweater now. Although chances are I will not have a Pakko sweater until next week. Oh wow, you already built the helmet? That was fast. What did you make it out of? Oh, wait for Two Bears. But yeah, as I was saying, Zootopia, absolutely fantastic. The story was great, the animation was awesome, the characters were really relatable, and all the jokes hit well. Oi! My cats don't like singing. Foam and random bits. That sounds great. That's how a lot of our stuff goes too. Yeah, I was really surprised at Zootopia. Very pleasantly surprised. Has anyone seen it? If you haven't, you should. No. Where am I putting this? I am just staring right now. I spaced out for a minute. Then we got this. So we may need to try to find a happy medium. Also, by the way, going to the movies on a rainy night at like 9 o'clock on a Monday, that's a good time to go to the movies. There were maybe like 5 other pairs of people in the theater. And of course, the person with the kid sits right behind me, so their child can kick my seat. There's a whole theater. Why are you here, right, kicking my seat? Luckily, they didn't start kicking until the end, so. Small blessings, right? But seriously, if there's only like 10 other people in the theater, and it's not a small theater, would you really sit right behind somebody else? Okay. By the way, it's Tuesday! Leaf Blower Man is back! Yay! Everybody loves Leaf Blower Man. I got that about lined up. We also finished the 7 Deadly Sins on Netflix last night. I really liked it! Although clearly there's going to be at least one more season because nothing was answered. Now we've got somewhere to work from. So I'm going to mark off my center line in case I lose this fold. Go. I just remembered my favorite part of Zootopia. It's not going to spoil anything, so I'm just going to tell you. But at the end, I'm just going to say, hunky tiger backup dancers. They were my favorite. If you want to know what I'm talking about, you have to go see it. So I'm going to cut this now so that I don't have to wrangle 7 yards of material. Got my awesome fabric scissors. By the way, fabric scissors are sharper than normal scissors. So if you're going to be doing a lot of sewing, I really advise getting a good pair. Mine has comfort grip in the middle. They're Iskers, probably because they were the cheaper on the high end. So, but just make sure you're not using these for anything else. Don't use them for paper, and especially don't use them for foam, because they will get dull, and then they're not going to cut your fabric effectively. So only use these on fabric. What else has been going on? But yeah, Seven Deadly Sins was also a lot of fun. Occasionally felt a little Dragon Ball Z-ish. Other times felt very One Piece. But ultimately, it was a lot of fun. It was a good anime. I'm looking forward to the third season, whenever that may happen. We've also been keeping up on Haikyuu. Which, if you don't know, Haikyuu is a volleyball anime. Which, I don't like sports animes, and it's really good. Let's see here. I've got a ruler and a Sharpie. It's time we get to work. So the sleeves are the question now. How big is this? 10 inches is 1 inch total. Yeah, that's really big. I don't want to put the neck in here. There's my official neck. And then we're going to keep this length here. So I want to keep this simple. So just for right now, for getting the initial pattern out, I'm going to try to make it as few pieces as possible. Afterwards, when I put it all together, I'm going to be drawing on the Pakko details to see where they're going to go and where I need to cut my pattern pieces to allow for different colors. Alright. Well, thank you for stopping by, Two Bears. I look forward to seeing your progress on your Bioshock diving suit. And I hope that you will unlearn soon. Yeah. That's a pretty good sized sleeve. But I am tempted to make it bigger. Hi, Jet Set Geometry. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good crafternoon. I know I am. I am making a Pakko sweater. I should have the Pakko picture up on my screen. I know I am pretty late, but it's still chilly here. It's still chilly. One more month and I won't be able to wear it though, so I want to make it like now. Seriously, Leaf Blower Man. I harbor a deep resentment for Leaf Blower Man. I know he's only doing his job, but his job is always done at the absolute worst time for me. Up until I don't like this logo. I really don't like this logo. Get this down here. Alright, I'm gonna bring the sleeve out. Probably can't see that at all. I'm gonna bring the sleeve, the bottom edge out more. I'm gonna continue the line from my crocheted sweater. Oh, am I? Oh, I think I know why. I'll be right back. Okay, did we forget to feed you? I'm sorry about that. Alright, I hope that's a little bit better. I forgot that I turned down the universal sound on my XSplit because Bastion was really, really loud. So let me know if I'm any louder now, Jet Set. Alright, so that's why the cats were acting up. I slept in this morning because I forgot to set my alarm, and thus we forgot to feed them. So they're getting breakfast now. Oh, good. I'm glad that's better. Thank you for letting me know, Jet Set. I'm so good at talking. By the way, have you seen Zootopia yet? It was really good. Okay. I think. I really like oversized sleeves. I like it when they flop over my hands and they're all ginormous. So, let's arm real quick. Let me fit some shapes. So, for the sake of this, and I can always shorten them in the final pattern. You didn't like it? Ah! Why didn't you like it? I won't judge you, Jet Set. I won't judge you, even though I loved it. As I was saying a minute ago, I'm still wondering what the predators are eating. Okay. So my plan for right now is to make this out of fleece, because fleece is relatively cheap and it doesn't fray. So when I overlay the colors, I don't have to worry about finishing off the edges. I'll just stitch it down. We'll be good to go. Now we have a shorter ruler in here. Okay. How big are you there? About 6.5 inches. So let's hold onto that there. Oh man, Jet Set's taking a while to let me know about what he didn't like. Oh, there we are. It was just too cute. I can see that, I guess. I can see that. I thought they did a really good job with all the animal movement, though. Especially... Alright. I'm going to try to be vague. At the end, when the otter is going in to give a hug, and she just moves like this, I was like, that is such an otter movement! Oh my god. I thought they did really great with the animating. But I can see it being too cute. I can see that. And yeah, there are a lot of talking animal movies. This is a lot better than, say, Madagascar, though. Yeah, it was gorgeous. Oh my god. I can't even... The amount of work that went into that much fur, it's gotta be crazy. Thank goodness for hippos and stuff who don't have hair. Well, I mean, they have hair, but not fur. Alright, Jet Set, I can accept your reasons. I can accept your reasons for not loving it. It did make me sad that I never ended up an animator, even though I kind of started going that route. Oh, you do that CG stuff? Oh man. What do you do? I did 3D modeling when I was in school. I was alright with the modeling, terrible at textures. Not terrible, just not great. I like the modeling. So this is going to end up rounded because corners suck and they never quite work properly. Yeah, animation is really hard. Oh, you do ZBrush? I liked ZBrush. I just always ended up with errors. I always ran into bugs or I tried to overdo too much or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But I've seen some amazing ZBrush work. Are you one of those people who does like the really gorgeous, hyper-realistic stuff? Alright. So I think that'll do nicely right there. I have a feeling this is going to turn out looking like a straight jacket. Just a little bit. Where did the sweater go? Do you have a portfolio somewhere? Not top yet? Takes a while to get to the top. Although, you know, you guys, if I could find this sweatshirt material that has this fuzziness on the inside, if I could find that at Joann's, that's what I would make Pakko out of. Because it's stretchy. Oh, welcome back, Jacob. We were just talking a little bit about Zootopia and sketching out more pattern stuff. And I'm hoping that Jet Set Geometry has a portfolio he can link so I can be like, if only I'd kept with it. No, Surface, don't fall asleep. There you go. Not really a portfolio? Do you have a site or anything? A blog? A Tumblr? Yeah, I want this material for my Pakko sweater because it stretches. The only thing with the fleece is that it's not really going to stretch. I don't want to have to dye anything, and they're not likely to have the colors I want in the jersey. And you're not going to share? Alright, alright. That's okay. If you ever do get a portfolio set up, I'd love to see it. Mm-hmm. Seriously, Hiccup? Seriously. He is being as noisy as he possibly can. Because he's mad that I didn't feed him because I was sleeping in. Alright. I think you should really put one together. The more you do now, the more you can just add to it later, so you're not trying to put the whole thing together at once and you're looking for a job or something. Plus, it's really cool to be like, yeah, I do 3D modeling. Here's my card. Check out my portfolio. Because I totally know about that. Because I was definitely that responsible. Be better than me. All right, what am I trying to do right now? I don't really know. I am trying to knock everything over and get these cords in as obtrusive a place as possible. You just love the work? Or do you work as a modeler, or are you going to school for it? Or do you just do it for fun? Okay. Okay. I think this is where we're going to start cutting. I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to cut 2 more pieces out of the muslin for the front. And I'm also going to, what am I going to do? Pattern the hood. I'm also going to do that. You should start networking now, Jet Set. That was another one of my big feelings. I've got lots of big failings. I've always got stories about my big failings. Networking is so important for animation and modeling jobs because it's a small community. So yeah. I wish you the best of luck. I hope that you make it farther than I did, which is any bit farther than I did. Yeah, it's gonna have a really big hood because I'm going for a kigurumi feel, but I don't actually want to make a kigurumi because I don't know that I'm gonna wear full body pajamas. I feel like I will overheat. Okay. I've had a song stuck in my head for like 3 days now, and I really like it, but I'm not allowed to sing it because I'm pissing off my husband. Yeah, one of the things. Oh yeah, I bet there's some fantastic ZBrush artists on here. This is a great forum for that. I haven't gone looking for them though. I'm glad that you managed to get to know some of them. Good for you. Good for you. I never really liked doing hyper realistic stuff. I was always into the cartoony stuff. I always wanted to do cartoony models and stylized things and not hyper real. So I really admire anybody who can do that. And I mean it. If you ever get your when you get your portfolio set up, I would love to see it so I can admire you and feel jealous, all right? But yeah, the song I've got stuck in my head is For the Longest Time by Billy Joel, I think. And I really like it, but I can only remember the first verse. That's why I'm not allowed to sing it anymore. The anatomy and structure of the human form. Have you taken any like real sculpting, like in-person sculpting classes with clay and stuff? I know that I had an écorché class that was really awesome because you just build a human form, 1/2 skeleton, 1/2 muscle. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about the musculature and how everything fits together that way. By the way, if you don't know, crochet, for anyone who doesn't know, literally means flayed man, as far as I know. I mean, that's kind of what I was told. Because in an crochet class, you're building a man without any skin. And it sounds kind of gross, but like I said, really great for getting to know the human form even better. Oh, life drawing! I love life drawing, although I was always too embarrassed. I learned how to selectively see in life drawing, because I'm like, oh, that's a naked person, and I need to look at them, and I'm just too embarrassed to do it. So I learned how to block out parts of my vision, basically. But yeah, if you can find an crochet class or just a real sculpting class, I would recommend it. You may get a lot out of it, getting to learn how to, build things, like feel them with your hands, and getting to walk around it in real, in real life. It's different. It's different than sculpting in ZBrush. But it could inform you, what you're doing in ZBrush a lot. It could influence you. Yeah, life drawing is so awkward. The male models especially, it was just like, please face the other way. Please don't sit facing me. Please don't sit facing me. In my life drawing class, I got, sadly one time, the full frontal view. And in my drawing, I couldn't do it. He was like, there was stuff set up around him, like a still life, and I just selectively moved something over so that I didn't have to draw in bits. Hello there, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good crafternoon. If anyone's come in late, I am making a sweater. I am patterning right now. I'm just working in muslin so I can get an idea of how everything's gonna work. And then, probably not this week because I'm gonna be out of town on Friday through Sunday. But next week I will likely be working in fleece. Unless I can find sweatshirt jersey in the right colors, because I love sweatshirt jersey, it's so soft. Yeah, it's always super awkward. Oh, life drawing. Such memories. Seriously, Hiccup? Seriously, you're just gonna jump on Astrid. I don't know if she provoked you. I don't care. By the way, I'm yelling at my cats. Sorry. I am in the cat room, after all, because that's where all my crafting stuff is set up. So, cats come with the territory. It might be fun to take another life drawing class. I know I've wanted to take another sculpting class. My grandfather was a sculptor, and he made the most beautiful statues. His work always had life to it. And I ended up with a couple of them. So yeah, I wouldn't mind taking the sculpting class again. Yeah, he was always really good at characters. That's how you pronounce it. That's how it's spelled. Yeah, well, I keep most of my stuff in bins or in the closet. I do my very best to keep things up where they can't puke on it or sleep on it. But yeah, if I was baking something for somebody else... Oh my goodness! Thank you for the follow, Gorham! Sorry, I only just saw it now. I've got a weird setup. Welcome! I hope you're having a good crafternoon. I'm so excited now. I'm so excited that I actually saw that. Yeah, college art classes are the best. Ugh. Although you do have to put up with snooty people sometimes. You get a lot of snooty people in a studio art class. But yeah, if I make anything for somebody who has animal allergies, I need to like take it downstairs and vacuum because this whole place is infested with cat dander. Me, they're my cats. I just suffer through it. Cause yeah, I'm allergic to you guys. Yes, I am. But I wanted cats, so we've got cats. Oh, boy. So I haven't actually mentioned anything about that, but when I sew, when I do my own patterns, I assume a 1/2 inch seam allowance just because it's easier to add on than 5/8. Seam allowance is important. You want to make sure you account for it, especially for anything that's fitted, because the stitches have to go somewhere. So don't forget about that. By the way, if anybody's working on something cool right now, I'd love to hear it. Tell me what you're working on so I can be in awe of your amazingness. All right. All right. So there we go. Part 1 of an oversized Pakko sweater pattern. Like I said, we're channeling the whole Kigurumi feel right now. Oversized and baggy. Also because Pakko is really smushy. I want to capture that smushiness. Oh, okay. Alright, now I have to fold this again. Because now I need to cut it out on the edge so that I end up with 2 pieces like this for the front. I'm keeping it super simple so that basically I've got like 1 pattern piece that I'm just either flipping over or cutting out 2 of. Because it's easier that way. Alright. Got my muslin again. Leaf blower man. He's still here. He's farther away now at least, but he's still here. Too many 1990s memories. Well, I can always adjust it if I need to. I'm going off my preferences here. I'm sorry, Jet Set. I'm doing what I want to do. But that's kind of one of the beauties of using muslin. You can always change it. It's cheap. It's really cheap. So if you make a mistake, if something doesn't work out, oh well, $2 a yard. Yeah. By the way, if you're ever doing anything with leather, foam makes a really great leather substitute. So if you need to do, like you want, especially in leather because it's expensive and you don't want to ruin it, get some cheap craft foam. Make up your prototypes that way. That way you'll know how it's going to work because foam kind of moves the same way leather does, but you're not ruining your good stuff. Or you're not risking your good stuff, rather. Maybe you'll get it perfectly fine on the first try. All right. Let us see. Do it that way. That is just barely a no. All right. All right. I know, right? Perfect on the first try. That's a myth. I've never gotten anything perfect on the first try. Even if I spend tons of time on my pattern and try to figure it out beforehand, and I think that I've got it, it's never perfect on the first try. I'm gonna need more muslin when I get to my daughter's costume. Whoops. By daughter, I mean daughter of the Ironwood. I do not have a daughter. Yeah. I found the best fabric. Ugh. Yeah, I think when I get to my Daughters of the Ironwood cosplay, I'm going to be looking at linen and cotton, what was it called? Cotton chiffon, cotton crepe cotton, I don't know anymore. It's cotton, but it's crinkly. A lot of Ray cosplayers are using it. It's kind of bandagey. I don't know what you call it. Cotton gauze! Cotton gauze. I'm going to use that for the underdress, I think, and then linen for the overdress, and likely the cloak as well. I saw that my Joann's did get some of the new cosplay fabrics in. I'm not entirely impressed with the selection. It was a lot of shiny fabrics, but heavier stretchy fabrics, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to love. The colors, I'm likely going to have to do a little bit of dyeing, especially for the green. I did not see a good green in the linen. At least not one that I was really feeling it, so I may need to dye it a little bit. And then, of course, all the stuff that comes with weathering and all that. But I love the texture of linen. I love the texture. Because it's got a wider, like the threads are thicker and it's got a wider weave, a looser weave. So it looks older. It's got more of that homespun feel, you know? Which is exactly what I want for Daughters of the Ironwood cosplay. Because they're more kind of like medieval Robin Hood-y kind of a feel to their clothing. And I do still need to decide if I'm doing green and red or if I'm doing all green with leather accents and stuff, which I'm likely going to do vinyl because I'm still too chicken to try leather. All right. So another cool thing about making your patterns out of muslin is that when you do end up pinning them to your final fabric, it doesn't crinkle and bend, so it'll lay nicer against the fabric so you get a more accurate cut when you cut out your pattern pieces. You do have to be gentle though if you're going to be using it for a long time. You may want to end up transferring it onto something hardier like butcher paper or poster board because it will fray. In the end, it will fray. But yeah, they had a really nice, rich red, Jacob, that I loved. But like I said, not a good green. They had a lighter green and kind of an olivey green, but nothing forest, like, you know, dark forest green. But the color you can change. The texture that's the hard part. And the cotton gauze too, I would probably want to dye it with coffee or tea or something to get a little bit more of a color. Maybe coffee because I know that gives a weaker dye. Because they had a couple different colors, but they had white and then everything else looked too dark to me. I don't want white. I want something slightly off-white. So I may need to go to a bigger store to see if they have a better selection. Now, where did my Sharpie go? Different Sharpie, good enough. But yeah, I happened to find the cotton gauze because I was waiting at the cut counter and then I just looked at what they were cutting. I was like, oh my god, what is that? And apparently the person was making a Ray costume. So, that was awesome. She and her boyfriend were actually doing Gender Bender, Kylo, and Rey, which I thought was really fun. I still get all embarrassed at Joanne's. I'm like, oh, what are you working on? A costume. Because then they're going to ask, oh, for what? And like some video game you probably haven't heard of. Because you're an older lady and you don't look like a gamer. Yeah. I'm working on that, though. I'm working on my self-confidence. Oh, Star Wars. The new Star Wars Rey. R-E-Y, I believe. Yeah, a lot of the cosplayers use that cotton gauze for the wrap because it's got that wrinkly texture so it looks more worn already. So they don't have to do quite as much weathering. There we go. Right. Alright, so after this I'm going to pattern up the hood, which will be really easy because I do a lot of hoods. They're pretty straightforward. Alright, there we go. Drawing that center line, since I'm going to need to cut one of these in half. Alright. Alright, final one here. Scraps through here. I always hold on to my scraps way more than I should. You never know when you're going to need a scrap. Alright. And then, trusty sewing scissors once more. I would say I've taken a lot more to just drawing, like tracing out my pattern pieces onto my final fabric as opposed to pinning it. I just find it works better for me. My dog Shanks always steals my weights that I use to hold down my fabric when I'm doing my when I'm laying out my patterns. He always steals them. He's so cute. All right. There we go. So this is kind of how I started out doing a lot of my patterns when I started making my own patterns, just finding something that was close enough to what I wanted and just tracing it out, figuring out what pieces of it I wanted, and then adapting them from there. I know that some people are really good at modifying existing clothing, but I found that this is the way I work. So try different stuff out. One method of pattern making may work better for you than something else. Also, don't be afraid to just go to Joann's or wherever and pick up some patterns. You know, those are great and easy to modify as well because they're already in pieces. Although you may need to sew the initial pattern together in a muslin so that you know what you need to change, as opposed to just going at it willy-nilly. we do this, the same chorus, like the same one verse and chorus of For the Longest Time are going through my head over and over and over. That song is stuck in there good. Here we go, more scraps. There we go. Now hoods. I also really, really love an oversized hood. One of my favorite things ever is having a huge hood. So I'm going to make it probably bigger than it needs to be, but oh well, it's my sweater. And if the whole thing just looks too big, I might end up just pulling it together down the middle here to shrink the size of the body of the sweater. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to do anything yet. Yeah, I'm really sad that I'm not going to be able to work on this on Friday. Because, like I said, I've been thinking about this for a week. Ever since I first loaded as Pakko in Gigantic, I was in love with that smushy guy. And thought he would make a great kigurumi. Alright, more pattern pieces. Alright, so let's figure out that hood. I'm not going to worry about making the base of the hood pattern exactly the size that I need for my neck, because I'm just going to gather it or pleat it in, and that'll give it a little bit more poof around like the back of the hood. So don't worry too much about that. And I have a hood pattern somewhere, probably in that closet right over there, but I don't feel like finding it, so we're just gonna make a new one. Hi.
Sorry, I keep the boiler here.
I'm okay. It's not hot out today.
Oh,
Thank you for worrying about me. Alright. So there we go. I'm bringing it in a few inches because I want it extra big. Can you see this at all? Nope. Let's move that up. There we go. Where did my red Sharpie go? So I'm drawing around a red sweater. I'll just have to be extra careful. Me, careful. I make myself laugh. Down there. Alright. So because I knew I would not be careful tracing it, I just did little dots, and I'm going to fill in I'm going to connect the dots. I want this a more gentle slope. And I'm just going to bring these all the way down. And that all the way forward. I may have made this too big. Oh well. I was actually planning to put another flat piece in the middle, but I don't know. I made this as a pretty big hood. I might not need to, so I think I'm not going to. Less pieces means a faster sewing job. All right. And of course that line is there. You see that at all? We just made a hood pattern. There are a couple of different ways that you can make hoods. You can do a two-piece like this, where just take your average sweatshirt and, you know, trace it, and then size it up to however you want. Another thing you can do is you can get two pieces like this and then add a straight piece down the middle. That'll help it lay flatter on the top of your head. So that's another thing that you can do. Also, you can add a strip to the front if you don't want that seam right in the middle, which may end up happening with Pakko, might not. I am trying to make this kind of a quicker build. So we're gonna see what we do. If I need to, I'll just shorten the pattern by like 3 inches or so, and then cut a 6-inch strip out of the fleece so that I can sew it along the front and then fold it in and then have a finished edge along the front there. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good crafternoon. Let me know if there's anything you're working on. I'd love to hear about it. Also, remember everyone, I do require you to be kind in my chat. If I do find that you are offensive in any way, I will not hesitate to block you. Alright? Yeah, we need you to go away. Hey, Sky? Can you block someone for me? Daisy Method. Thank you. Also, let's go with Jay Robinson. Be polite. I'm not playing around. All right, guys? All right. And maybe I am being a little heavy-handed right now, but I know where this is going. So I don't care. It's my stream, right? Thank you. All right, all right, all right. If anyone does feel like they've been wrongly blocked, you can send me a whisper and we can talk about it later, okay? All right, let's get this hood cut out. So I will be back online again. I will be streaming again tonight. I can speak properly. I love cosplay too. Have you ever cosplayed? What's your name? Kieran Hayes? Alright, what was I saying? I've already forgotten. Whew. Alright, let's get that out of the way. Let's see here. See, I am going for a super oversized hood because I always do. It's my favorite. Honey? Yeah. Can you block Kieran Hayes? Yep. Thank you. Bye-bye. always go in that direction. I don't understand what makes people feel big about being rude to people on the internet. I really don't. All right, we've got a two-piece hood pattern. Now, I never did actually measure this, but I'm assuming this is far more than 20 inches total. Yep, we're good. This is gonna be a nice poofy hood. So, now I need to swing you guys around so I can start sewing. What's this? That's a hood piece, okay. Got my scissors. Hi Astrid, how you doing now? Did you just have a hairball right there? Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. All right. Whoop, there we go. There goes my chair. Oh. Eventually I'll have a better setup here. That day's not today. Let's see, what thread? All right, I want to take this bobbin out because I need this thread for later. I'm probably not using glue again. I'm nearly out of this pack of bobbins because I go through so many different colors. Alright, so again, I'm just using whatever colors I'm not likely to use again. I've got orange. I could be using orange anytime soon. The more you sew and the more you cosplay, the more you're going to end up with a drawer full of thread. Oh, that's right, I need to change the needle. Luckily, I remembered that I've got a heavy-duty needle in here meant for stuff like leather and denim. That is not the correct needle for what I'm using right now. Not ballpoint. I've got ballpoint needles for using with stretchy materials and fleece, and regular point needles in different weights. Read your sewing machine guide. It'll give you an idea for what you need. Also, on the back of the packaging, it tells you kind of what materials these needles are for. It's important to have the right needle for the right job. A fine tip needle is not going to work well with leather. Also, you will find that a lot of the regular needles, they're not going to sew properly in stretchy materials. You are going to skip stitches. So, do I have any orange? I do have one. I've got one orange left in this pack. There we go. Alright. Where was I? I was going up this way. I like the new sewing machines because they've got better guides for how you're supposed to thread them. Alright, there we go. So what do we have here? This is our big solid one. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to want to take that in the middle. But we'll put it together first and see about how much I want to do. It's better to go too big and size down than to go too small and size up. Because if you go too small and size up, you have to cut out whole new pattern pieces, whereas if you go too big and size down, typically you only have to take it in one or two places. Though that's not always the case, so if you ever do buy an existing pattern from Joann's or something, pay attention to what size that pattern is for, because each pattern will have at least two separate packets, and if you buy the packet that's the wrong size, you're going to have some issues. Even if you do your best to size it down, although I wasn't as experienced as I am now, so when I did buy one that was too big, I couldn't size it properly. I didn't manage it. So pay attention to that. I know patterns are not always cheap. Alright, your sewing machine will have guides on this metal plate here so that you know how much seam allowance you're giving your project. I've got my needle all the way to the left, so the remaining width of the zipper foot is 1/2 inch, so I just line up my edges with the side of the zipper foot. And if you're, worried about your fabric slipping, just pin it. I'm just not, because I don't feel like it. But on my final projects, I always pin. I'm a bit more relaxed with my patterns, though. One seam down. Oh, I'm really looking forward to working on my Daughters of the Ironwood cosplay. It's gonna be so fun. But this could not wait because the weather will get warmer soon. And I want to be able to wear it at least once. There we go, there's side 2. So we have one sleeve. Oh, that's a hood. That's a sleeve. So I'm going to wait to do the hood, or wait to attach the hood until I get the body here properly sized. Which we'll be doing in just a minute. So has anyone played any good games this weekend? Or in the last week, or however long it's been since I've seen you? I started playing Bastion, which I know maybe some of you have seen because I streamed it. A lot of fun. Definitely you can tell Supergiant Games ironed out a lot of things when they worked on Transistor, though. Like, Transistor had more punch. It really hit me right there. Get me in the feels, you guys. I'm still emotional about Transistor. I'm still so emotional about it. There we go. And I will be a lot more careful with the final piece. I'm just whizzing through it right now because this is just a pattern. But yeah, I'm really excited about my Daughter of the Arwood cosplay because it means that I get to try weathering for the first time. I've always avoided weathering either because I just never had the time, or it's intimidating to ruin something you just spent so much time making pristine. Yeah. Also, I'm gonna get to corset again. I love making corsets. Yeah, and I'll get to make a giant cloaked hooded cloak thing. Oh, I love hooded cloaks. Isn't she fat? Do you see her back there? She's white on white, so you might have a hard time, but she is so fat. Like, she's fluffy too, but that's mostly fat. I make no excuses for Astrid. She's a fat cat. And she used to be so slim and pretty, and then first her fur got long. She used to have medium length fur, and then it just went and got all long. And then she stopped moving. She stopped playing. She was never very playful. She was like, no, I'm just going to ambush. You are not going to get me to run. And so, now she's fat. The dogs can make her run. But when we let the dogs do that, she gets mad and she pees on the carpet. So that's why we have a cat room, so that she doesn't have to run and feel like she has to pee on the carpet. I know, right? Ugh. But yeah, Astrid, it's so fat, it's so fluffy. Alright, almost done here. Okay. Then I'm just going to sew together the two pieces of the hood, so I don't have to do that later. Yeah, there we go. And again, you can pin if you need to. got a hood. You can just flip it inside out. There you go, super oversized hood. And it will sit differently in a different material. So I'm not worrying about that right now. Let me see. Yep, looks like straight jacket. Okay, so one final thing, I am going to want to make the sleeves wider. I don't know if you can see it all. Yeah, you can. It doesn't help that I'm wearing long sleeves right now. Okay. I'm also going to need to expand the bottom, I think. Unless I make this just a comfy, loungy sweater, which I could do. Let's see. That's too big. So I'm going to reduce the sleeves about that much. Let me grab my Sharpie. There's my red Sharpie! Oh. Yes, you gotta be careful with big white hoods. Alright, so I'm gonna want the front to come down more. Let's say about there. And then, I'm not convinced about that yet. Can I pull it in? You might need to pull it in. I don't know. Let's see, let's curve the front. Make that a bit more nice. And this is why I like working in muslin. You can just draw on it. There we go. Or I could do round it. I just want something comfy that looks like Pakko. Yeah. And that should be wider as well. I may add an inch to the sleeve right there so that it's wider. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to need to think on it. Let's see there. That could be fine. And then the back of the neck, we want that to curve as well. All right, so I've made my notes directly on my fabric. The armholes look really big. I want it to be really loose. I'm not entirely convinced yet. Nothing comes out perfect the first try, right? But I wanted it really loose and slouchy. And this is why we work in muslin first. There we go. And then Expanding. Oops. Around. There we go. So I am going to end up like stitching or taping on extra pieces so that I can extend it where I want to. Then the next thing was back of the neck. Need the back of the neck to come down a little bit so that it fits nicely. I don't know if you can see that at all. Be careful not to cut yourself with your own sewing scissors. Sewing scissors are very, very sharp. They can take chunks out of you. So be wary. I speak from experience. All right. Then, yeah, I'm gonna want to add like an inch to that, and then cut that off there. So that way the sleeves will be really wide, which I really like. I'm gonna add that extra inch on the top, and then, yeah, I'm probably going to end up adding a little bit of a curve down here on the back side, so that it's got a nicer overall flow. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I like that curved front better. So what I'll probably end up doing is curve the front overall, and then end up having one or two big buttons across the front to help keep it closed if I want to. But I don't think I'm going to do zipper. Puppy, be good. She's ferocious. Stephanie needs to let everybody know that she is to be feared. And when I do end up making this, I'm going to use 1/2. I'm not going to try to use all the pieces that I have right now. I'm just going to pick the best half and go with it. Oh, who's that now? Now we have Lawnmower Man. Amazing! Although he is better than Leaf Blower Man because he is farther away. Right. You write a note on the back here. There we go. So, I don't know if you can see it all. Just writing my notes. That's the top. There's this. Just making a note that I need to round that edge out because I need to add to it. This would be much easier on a larger table, but we'll make do. There we go. So remember what we were saying earlier? Nothing's perfect on the first try. And that is a-okay. There we go. All right. So now I need to figure out where the hood goes. All right, I want that hood to come there. I think I'm going to try bringing the hood. Woof, I'm stuck. There we go. To here. So the hood will go to there, and I'm actually going to bring in the back of the neck a bit, so that will sit a little nicer. Let's see. So first I'm going to sew in the dart for the back of the neck to adjust it more to my proportions. I'm just going to be making a dart. Probably bringing it in too much, but maybe I'm not. There we go. No, that sort of worked. Back stitching on dart is always tricky. Never quite wants to go the same direction. Let's see now. All right, I think that's better. It's not falling forward as much in the front. So when I make this dart for reals, I'm going to have to round it out a bit more. But for now, don't care. Zero fucks. All right. Oh, for the hood, I'm probably going to need pins. That means I have to find my pins. Where did those end up? pins wet? I sure as hell don't. Well, got safety pins. Not ideal, but we make do. Yeah, no pins in there. I don't know where my pins went. So first we're going to make sure we've got the hood the right side up. Alright. Yeah, that's not going to work. Spray tape? This may not work until I find my pins. Alright, so we're lining up the hood about there. We're lining up the center about there. And for now, I'm just going to pleat it. Because I don't feel like taking the time to properly gather it. Alright. Yay, tape! Tape is amazing! But pins would be better. Alright, get that lined up, center lined up. And there. And I will make these pleats even on the final one, or gathers, or whatever I end up doing. But right now, I would just like to get this moving. Whew. I'm going to be doing more patterning tonight on Gigantic Cosplay at 7 o'clock. We're going to be working on Beckett's guns. No idea yet for how we're going to manage it, but we'll figure it out one way or another. All right. Go. This is still gonna line up? Not quite. Awesome. We'll make it work. where pins come in handy. Things won't shift in stupid ways. Go. And this side. Okay, let's turn this inside out now. Then we've got our hood. So you can see the hood's going to be nice and big and fluffy. All right. I'm much happier with this now. So I may end up bringing these armpit areas in more. I might. But I kind of like how slouchy it is. That is exactly what I was going for. Also, hood, perfect. I got the size just right. And look at how nicely it fits right there. You guys, first try on the hood. Yeah. And then I'm going to be shortening the sleeves by about that much, 3 or 4 inches. And I'm going to be adding on an extra inch, so 2 inches total to this part here. And then a little bit more added onto the back to get that rounded out. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. So yeah, what I'm probably going to do is right here, I may have one like big thing with a button on it, or I may have 2 things with buttons. Just to hold it closed if I want it to be closed. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with what I've done today. All right, you guys. So I will be working on this a little bit more on my own time. Hopefully, next time you see me for Good Crafternoon, I'll be working in police. We can keep our fingers crossed for me. I will be back this evening, 7 o'clock with Gigantic Cosplay. I will be hosting them here on my stream, but also we do the Twitch channel. That's gigantic_cosplay. You should be able to find the link down below. Follow me on Twitter for scheduling announcements. Also, I post the pictures, progress pictures, and my sketches from Cosplay Hunt on my Instagram. Again, links down below. Pictures are sporadic. I'm working on it. I'm getting better. Let's see, should I move this a bit? Get better lighting here. There you go. Half my face is in darkness. Also, join my Instagram. Or not my Instagram, my Discord. I would love to have you. We can talk about games and cosplay all we want. And again, link down below. This has been a very productive Good Crafternoon. I don't know about you guys. I'm quite pleased with what I accomplished. I wanted to do a little bit more. But what can we do? My dogs need a walk, so it's time to go. Ugh. This lighting is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Whatever. I hope that you guys had a good time. I'll see you again tonight. Bye.